Good evening and welcome to the KDF Friday Bulletin. I am Sergeant Patience Asambu. The Bulletin is a show to keep you updated on events undertaken by the Ministry of Defense over the week. And in our highlights tonight, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces effects promotions, postings and appointments in the Kenya Defense Forces. Cabinet Secretary for Defense on a 3-day official visit to Egypt. Former Deputy Army Commander presides over Exercise Justified Accord 2024 closing ceremony. Kenya Defense Forces hosts Uganda People's Defense Forces for benchmark. On to our first story making headlines tonight. His Excellency Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, pursuant to Section 9(2)A of the Defense Forces Act, has today promoted Major General Charles Murio Kahariri to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him the Vice Chief of Defense Forces. He replaces Lieutenant General Jonah Maina Mwangi, whose term has come to an end after 42 years of service. Further, the President has promoted and appointed Major General David Kimayo Tarus to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him the Commander, Kenya Army. Lieutenant General David Kimayo Tarus replaces Lieutenant General Peter Mbogonjeru, whose term has come to an end after 39 years of service. Until his appointment as Commander, Kenya Army, Lieutenant General Kimayo Tarus was the Deputy Army Commander. The President has also promoted and appointed Major General Jimson Longiro to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him Vice Chancellor, National Defense University, Kenya. Until his appointment, Lieutenant General Jimson Longiro was the Commander, Kenya Navy. Consequently, he promoted and appointed Brigadier Thomas Njoroge Ng'ang'a to the rank of Major General and appointed him Commander, Kenya Navy. Until he was appointed Commander, Kenya Navy, Major General Ng'ang'a was the Commander, Kenya Navy Base Manda. Major General Juma Shea Munyikai has been promoted to Lieutenant General and appointed Commandant, National Defense College. In addition, on the advice of the Defense Council chaired by Honorable Aden Bare Duale, Cabinet Secretary for Defense, the President upheld the Council's recommendations and made various promotions, postings, and appointments of other Kenya Defense Forces officers. The Commander-in-Chief has also nominated and appointed to the senior ranks of public service the outgoing Vice Chief of Defense Forces and the Commander, Kenya Army, Lieutenant General Jonah Mwangi, to serve as Kenya's ambassador in Tehran, Iran, and Lieutenant General Peter Mbogonjeru to Kenya's High Commissioner in Islamabad, Pakistan, respectively. Honorable Aden Duale, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, was on a 3-day official visit to the Arab Republic of Egypt earlier in the week. During the visit, Honorable Duale delivered a special message from His Excellency Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, to the Egyptian President, His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The visit focused on expanding and cementing Kenya and Egypt's bilateral ties and cooperation in different sectors of defense and security. The Cabinet Secretary was hosted by the Egyptian Defense Minister, General Mohammed Ahmed Zaki, at the Egyptian Defense Headquarters. During the bilateral meeting, they discussed an array of issues focusing on furthering collaboration on defense relations and finalizing the Defense Cooperation Agreement between the two countries.
Also, CS Duale led the Kenya delegation on a visit to the Egyptian Special Forces Counter-Terrorism Unit under the guidance of Major General Mohammed Abdel Fattah, the commander of the elite Egyptian unit. They had the opportunity to observe firsthand the specialized training and operational capability of the Egyptian Special Forces Counter-Terrorism Unit on hostage rescue, urban warfare tactics, and other critical aspects of the counter-terrorism operation. Honorable Duale also met with the Chief of the Engineering Industry Complex, Major General Mohammed Abdi Abubakar, to discuss ways of enhancing cooperation in defense and technology between the two countries. The visit culminated in a tour to the Alexandria Shipyard Company, where they were received by Egyptian Naval Chief of Staff, Rear Admiral Hazem Hamed, and the Deputy Commander of the company, Major General Ayaman Tarbis. The shipyard is a pioneer company in shipbuilding, repair, and heavy industry in Egypt and in the Middle East.
Lieutenant General Jonah Mwangi, former Vice Chief of Defense Forces, officially opened the second Kenya Defence Forces Medical Scientific Conference at the Kenya School of Monetary Studies here in Nairobi. The two-day event, themed Enhancing Force Capability Through Quality Healthcare and Research, brought together both military and civilian medical practitioners to connect, learn, and grow by engaging across the stakeholder sub-disciplines as a measure of staying updated on best practices.
In his remarks, the former Vice Chief of the Defence Forces acknowledged the significant role of healthcare services in ensuring that the Kenya Defence Forces achieves its mandate. He also added that by fostering partnerships and multidisciplinary approaches, stakeholders can remain at the front line of medical knowledge, thereby shaping the future of healthcare both in the military and across the nation.
We recognize that quality healthcare is both a benefit to service personnel and concurrently a fundamental right for the citizenry. This, in my mind, places a dual responsibility on health professionals serving in the Ministry of Defense. Indeed, by upholding high standards of medical services through innovation and continuous improvement, we simultaneously validate our commitment to national well-being.
In her keynote address, the Senior Principal Clinical Research Scientist at the Kenya Medical Research Institute, Professor Elizabeth Bukusi, identified some of the challenges facing the medical practice, which include gender-biased research, and called for deliberate initiatives that address medical issues that are peculiar to particular gender. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic and Student Affairs at the National Defence University Kenya, Professor Anne Muigai, commended the organizers of the conference, acknowledging the significance of such a medical discourse in boosting the health sector.
Brigadier General Bailey, the Commander Medical Research and Development Center, earlier this week paid a courtesy call to the Defence Forces Memorial Hospital to oversee the progress in the partnership with the Kenya Defence Forces regarding HIV research and development. Hosted by Brigadier Dr. Milton Obilo, the Chief Medical Officer at the hospital, the joint meeting focused on exploring new avenues of active involvement in medical research on infectious diseases.
Brigadier Dr. Obilo expressed his appreciation to the United States Army Medical Research Directorate in Africa for their continuous support towards Kenya Defence Forces in strengthening the prevention of HIV among troops, noting that KDF is geared towards advancing its medical research practices to defend the nation and the military. On his part, Brigadier General Bailey applauded KDF for enhancing its laboratory capabilities and tremendous progress in its military-to-military prevention, care, and treatment program, which has strengthened HIV service provision for military personnel and their families. Colonel Dr. Angela Nderi highlighted the significant progress of the President's Emergency Fund for AIDS relief among the KDF troops in creating awareness and improving the lives of those affected. She added that the strategic partnership with the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research has made it possible for the achievement of the program's goal, being care and treatment, strategic information, prevention and research.
Moving on, Lieutenant General David Tarus, the Commander Kenya Army, while serving as the Deputy Commander Kenya Army, and Ambassador Robert Scott, the Southern European Task Force in Africa, Deputy to the Commander for Civil Military Engagement, graced the closing ceremony of the multinational exercise Justified Accord 2024 at the Counter-Insurgency, Terrorism and Stability Operations Center in Nanyuki, Laikipia County. Parallel to that, His Excellency Mr. Martin Brouwer, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Kenya, and Brigadier General John LeBlanc, the Deputy Commanding General of Southern European Task Force in Africa, presided over the closing ceremony of Justified Accord 2024 Command Post exercise at Humanitarian Peace Support School in the Bakassi Garrison here in Nairobi.
The ceremony marked the successful completion of the exercise, which provided a realistic training environment, allowing troops to practice various scenarios, including humanitarian assistance, countering improvised explosive devices, medical evacuation procedures, medical camps, and countering unmanned aerial systems in urban setups. While addressing the participants, the Army commander commended the soldiers for their concerted efforts to practice together to combat similar enemies and solve the common security challenges in the region. He emphasized the importance of joint military training operations to build trust and cooperation between countries.
It is important that you have people who have gone through here. They will become trainer of trainers so that you can help the other soldiers to perfect their profession, so that we are able to deal with the problem that we are having within the region together. Pamoja tunaweza. Yes. Yes. Pamoja tunaweza.
In his address, Ambassador Scott emphasized the importance of collaboration, unity, and shared purpose in achieving lasting peace and stability in the region. Ambassador Scott's call to action echoed beyond the ceremony, urging all participants to carry forward the torch of partnership. Beyond tactical training, Justified Accord allows military leaders and personnel to establish professional relationships that facilitate information sharing, intelligence cooperation, and joint efforts in addressing security challenges.
Still on the exercise, earlier in the week, Kenya Defence Forces personnel participated in various training areas as part of the multinational exercise Justified Accord 2024. Kenya Defence Forces medical personnel and the United States Army medical team participating in the exercise teamed up to offer free medical services to the residents of Samburu County at the Archers Post Sub-County Hospital. Also, Kenya Defence Forces military police and 32 Massachusetts National Guardsmen from the 772 Military Police Company personnel participated in joint training at the Counter-Insurgency Terrorism and Stability Operations Training Center in Nanyuki. Here are more details on the exercise.
During the medical camp, residents received free access to a range of healthcare services, including doctor consultations, basic medical checkups, and treatment for common ailments. The initiative proved significant for individuals who may not have a regular access to pharmacies or healthcare facilities. Additionally, essential medications were provided for various health conditions. Speaking during the exercise, Lieutenant Colonel Juma Omar, the head of the Kenya Defence Forces medical team, emphasized the importance of providing free medical services to residents, highlighting the collaborative efforts between KDF and the U.S. Army in addressing immediate health needs, promoting well-being and fostering goodwill within the community. The community members conveyed their sincere appreciation for the invaluable medical assistance and acknowledged the commendable joint efforts of the forces in enhancing healthcare accessibility.
Lieutenant General Jimson Mutai, the outgoing Commander Kenya Navy, earlier this week hosted the Commandant Joint Command and Staff College, Major General Eric Kinuthia, and students from the college for an educational tour at the Kenya Navy base Mtongwe. The team also toured the Kenya Shipyards Limited in Mombasa. The discussions centered on the sailors' operational capabilities and training methodologies in addressing contemporary maritime threats were held. The visit was aimed at familiarizing the student officers with the organization, staff functions, and capabilities of Kenya Navy and Kenya Shipyards Limited. The officers were taken through on the mission of the shipyard and its role in harnessing blue economy, as well as boosting maritime security and safety via shipbuilding, repair and refit of Kenya Navy vessels and those of other ministries, departments, and agencies. Also, they were treated to an experience in the full mission bridge simulator at Kenya Naval Training College, which offers maritime training in compliance with international maritime standards. At the Kenya Navy Fleet, the officers experienced a sea ride on board Kenya Coast Guard service ship Doria. In other news, the Defense Saving and Credit Cooperative Organization held its annual delegates training and meeting on the 7th and 8th of March, respectively. The two-day event was officially opened by the Vice Chairman of the SACCO, Brigadier Charles Mozige. In his address, the Vice Chairman extended a warm welcome to all the delegates who were in attendance. During the training, discussions centered on the importance of understanding the SACCO's movement and the crucial role of delegates in fostering financial unity, adaptability, growth, and sustainability of a vibrant SACCO.
The training also delved into risk and compliance, considerations, emphasizing the need for a robust framework to ensure the circle's stability. Moreover, the strategic planning was highlighted as a key factor in navigating the complex financial landscape and ensuring long-term viability. The Assistant Chief of Defense Forces in charge of personnel and logistics, Major General David Keter, who graced the meeting, acknowledged the significant contribution of past leadership to the circle and expressed pride in the organization's accomplishments over the past 4 years. He underscored the importance of teamwork for effective service delivery. At the annual delegate meeting, Major General Keter presented the circle strategic plan for the year 2024 to 2028 to the Chief Executive Officer of the circle, Colonel Trufosa Omondi. Additionally, resolutions were passed and elections held to appoint new members to key positions within organizations, and employees who exhibited exemplary performance in their areas of work were feted.
National Defense College personnel led by Senior Directing Staff Air Major General Fatuma Ahmed paid a visit to Chesire Homes and St. Joseph Daycare Center in Kariobangi here in Nairobi. The center, which started in the early 1980s, provides support for over 200 day scholars and 27 elderly people who reside within the center. The center benefited from a donation of assorted foodstuff and non-food items, including clothing.
Speaking during the visit, Major General Ahmed passed greetings from the Commandant National Defense College, Major General Rashid Elmni, and noted that the donation shared were a way of giving back to the community. Sister Lydia Disa, the center administrator, appreciated the team for the visit and donations, noting that they will go a long way in supporting the institution.
Brigadier Richard Monzia, the Chief of Strategic Plans and Policy at the Defense Headquarters, hosted senior officers from the Uganda People's Defense Forces on a benchmarking exercise. In his remarks, Brigadier Monzia reiterated the already existing cordial relations between Kenya and Uganda, adding that the forum provided a firm platform to share ideas, experiences, and challenges the two militaries encounter. His sentiments were corroborated by the head of Uganda People's Defense Forces delegation, Brigadier General James Kinalwa, who observed that the two friendly states share a lot in common. Brigadier General Kinalwa, who is the Chief of Personnel and Administration, noted that numerous Uganda People's Defense Forces soldiers have trained in Kenya to enhance their capacity, thereby adopting best practices and fostering interoperability. Under the theme Inspire Inclusion, the International Peace Support Training Center joined the rest of the world in celebrating this year's International Women's Day in Karen, Nairobi. The event recognized women from different sectors and their noble roles in peace support operations. The annual global event was aimed at understanding the benefits of investing in women, including economic growth, social development, as well as sustainable change. It was also intended to enhance partnerships and collaboration among women to collectively address barriers to their advancement and decision-making process in leadership spaces.
In her remarks, the chief guest, Ms. Mary Njeri, who is the team lead for the United Nations Women in Kenya for ending violence against women and girls, celebrated milestone women have made over the years and called upon women to appreciate, recognize, and inspire fellow women and girls at a personal level. The senior directing staff at the National Defense College, Major General Fatma Ahmed, in her speech, read by Lieutenant Colonel Joan Osweto, urged women to work together to break down the barriers that divide them. She encouraged them to build a future where every woman and girl can fulfill their potential and inspire inclusions in their homes, workplaces, as well as communities. During the event, various global award-winning women were recognized. They included, among others, Major Stephanie Nyaboga of the Kenya Defense Forces, who was awarded the 2020 United Nations Military Gender Advisor of the Year. Separately, Brigadier Joyce Sitanei, the Commandant International Peace Support Center, received 2 awards on an auspicious occasion to celebrate the day in Embu.
Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our official social media handles and your viewership next Friday for the KDF Friday Bulletin. I am Sergeant Patience Asambu. Goodbye.